Tell me you love me. Tell me you care. Tell me you need me, and I'll be right there.
Welcome to Gab and Jam, episode 143.
All right.
That song was off our new album, Sugar Fit.
Yes.
Which you can go over to bandcamp.com/Prejippie.
Yeah.
And order now.
Yeah.
Everybody who responds to this particular offer, so it's a limited time offer, will get a free album art sticker.
Yeah.
So
Song number 7.
Song number 7 on
That's what it was.
On the CD.
That's
Okay.
right. All
right, so our topic today, episode 143, Gab and Jam, is how can you tell if you're a sellout?
Wow, what does that mean? Does it mean like if I'm getting ready to perform someplace and all the seats are taken and it's a sellout like that?
Well, I mean,
is that what we're talking about?
To be realistic, we are not in this. We have had this discussion before.
Right.
We're not in this just to create. Otherwise, we just keep the music in our basement.
Right.
So part of creating is getting it out and connecting with people.
Yeah.
And then we want to be compensated for the value, the value that people find in what we do.
So which one's more important?
That's the question. So it just seems to us that there should be some kind of balance between keeping your stuff in your basement and never compromising ever at all.
Right.
Or completely just going with whoever you think is going to give you this opportunity and to bend yourself into a pretzel.
Right.
And so we've done that before.
Yes.
We've done it before. That was not satisfying.
Right. Yeah.
It does not make any sense to do another quote unquote job.
Yeah.
We got a day job. We don't need another job. We want to do something with our art that is, I guess, that gives us life.
Right.
And not that is draining.
Right.
So there are questions, 3 questions.
Okay.
You can ask yourself.
That's good, because that's the next thing is that, so
how do you know?
How do you strike this balance?
Right, how do you, and it's something you have to know within yourself. It's not something somebody else can tell you.
Right.
Because one person's opportunity is another man's, trash on the street. So, trash. Okay. 3 questions you can ask yourself to see if you are selling out is, does what you're working toward make you feel excited? And are you motivated to get it done?
Right.
So
does it feel, if it feels like work, if it feels like drudgery, then maybe you might be off course.
Yeah, then maybe it's something that's not speaking to you, and you have to ask yourself why.
Right, because it seems like if you're walking in your calling, that, it's going to be something that's natural for you. It's going to be something that you do without, someone telling you to do anything like that.
No alarm clock going to wake you up because you're going to want to get up and do that thing.
Right, because it's just a natural type of thing. Yeah.
So that's the first question. And second question is for questions to ask yourself to see if you're selling out.
Right.
Is, does the work you're producing feel like it's steering you to the original vision you had for your art?
Yes.
So we don't mind, creating like all types of songs. But the question was, when we were chasing, I guess listings and postings on like music sync things.
Yeah.
Is that taking us away from our goal, which really is to sell our original music, not to emulate other, people's art in order to get a placement?
Right. I guess I almost feel like sometimes when you are doing art, is that usually, especially if you're doing something and you are an artist, you're a true artist and not just a craftsman of what you do, is that you're going to have a point of view. That you're going to have a worldview, you're going to have a point of view, and I think that is going to be something that's reflected in your work, right? And so to me, that's the difference between like an artist who can go out and just paint beautiful landscapes, and just do the landscape the way that it looks and make it look like a photograph or whatever else, as opposed to like a Picasso or somebody like that who's going to do a reinterpretation of that. And so I think that if you're a person, as far as music goes, and there are plenty of people who are kind of like that, you might feel comfortable, like doing cover tunes and doing things like that. And this is no way to diminish that because that's great. And if that's kind of what you feel, or you might be even someone who's very good at emulating the styles that are out there and things like that. And again, if that's who you are, then go for it. And if that's what you enjoy doing, go for it. You know what I mean? But if you are a person and you kind of struggle with that, and really reason why you struggle with that is that you kind of have a worldview. You kind of have a certain way that you like to do things with a bit of a slant. And everybody won't necessarily like Picasso's work, right? There's going to be a lot of people who can appreciate the art of somebody who just drew a landscape and made it look exactly like that landscape. Because they can see his talent in that. But you might not recognize the talent in a Picasso's work. And that's the same thing that you need to understand sometimes with the artistic expression that you're doing within your music, is that everybody just might not get it. I'm not saying that everybody who has that type of expression is on the same level as Picasso. I'm just throwing them out there because
are you saying you shouldn't chase fans?
No, I'm not saying that you shouldn't chase fans as much as what I'm saying. In a way, I think you shouldn't. I mean, I hate to put it that way. I actually think you shouldn't. I think that you need to be able to put your stuff out there and allow your fans to find you. But you gotta shine your beacon. If they're gonna see it, they gotta see the beacon out there, right? They gotta see your signal that's out there, and then they can come to you.
I like that.
As opposed to me, if you're chasing fans, that's when you find yourself not having a worldview, not being committed to who you are,
right?
Not interested in that kind of stuff.
Because you're going to whatever you think is popular.
Exactly, because you're chasing after them.
Yeah.
And so you don't have anything out there for people who are like-minded, who are kind of your tribe to kind of come to. Whereas if you got this beacon that's out there just glowing, and there'll be some people who are just going to ignore it.
Yeah.
Some people are going to hate it, and avoid it. But some people are going to come to it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that I can't say what the numbers are going to be.
Right, yeah.
But, you will find the number that is meant to listen to your work.
Yeah.
So you got to be committed to that. At least that's the way I feel about it. So.
Yeah, and I think in all these years, in our going to and fro and trying to grapple with this question, that seems more real. And I think that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
It's just constantly shining that beacon everywhere.
Yeah.
And then and gathering people. There are a lot of people who resonate with it, but they're in pockets.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what like when we were performing at church, I mean, it was we really got some tough criticism.
Yeah, we
did. You know what I mean? So with the stuff that we were doing, and so I mean, it's like if you kind of check out the Sacred Places album that's on Bandcamp, you get an idea of that. I mean, and it's a different flavor for what would be like
praise and
worship type of music. And so I understand why the church we went to, we're like, I like this. You know what I mean? I get it. Yeah. I do understand.
But we had to decide again whether it was worth it to keep trying to be something that they would like.
Right. Yeah.
Or if we were just gonna
Right.
You know, take our show someplace else.
But sometimes that happens too. It's sort of like, you know, you might be in a position or with a group of fans or whatever else who may, you know, like you at a certain point in time. Mm-hmm. But in order to keep those fans,
you have to keep
if you feel like
it.
if you feel like you have to some kind of way, you know, I guess stunt your growth, mm-hmm. you know, creatively or become stagnant creatively, then that might be time for you to leave that fan base behind and go someplace else. And that's okay too.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, that's kind of how it was for us. It's like, you know, I just felt like, you know, where the church was going, where we were, we're just in different spots.
Yeah.
You know, and that happens. Yeah. You know what I mean? And that's cool too when that does happen. But you have to recognize that and understand that for you creatively, that, you know, hey, this is what I need to do. Yeah. And again, your beacon follows you. So.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. All right. And the last key question to ask yourself to know if you're selling out is, are you proud of yourself and the projects that you're working on?
Yeah.
And so I think at one time, especially when we were doing things that I wasn't quite as, you know, I wasn't feeling as much, I don't think I shared as much what we were doing. And I'm saying now that I feel like we have zoned back in on what we do best,
Right.
Now it's like I can't wait to shout it from the rooftops. So
Right.
so I think that is a key indicator. It's something that speaks in your soul, that tells you, you know, and then you're proud to share because hey, you're feeling it.
I mean, we have a lost rap album. That's gonna
we
stay
do.
lost. You know what I mean?
We really do.
Right. That's gonna stay lost.
Yeah.
So I mean, you know,
that was bad.
Right. But again, because
we've been chasing down something.
You're trying to chase something that you're not. And anytime you're trying to be something, become something that you're not, I mean, that's
and that was a lot of work, and it won't see the light of day.
No,
so
it won't. But sometimes that's what it takes for growth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It takes, you know, you kind of have to. Maybe you do have to chase that for a minute to find out, hey, this is not really for me. You know, it's not. It's, you know, I think it was like I think we were closer to being house artists and of course rap artists. But I think even for us, just with just house music, that we weren't just that. Weren't just house music.
Right.
Weren't
so
just that.
that was a little bit too confined too. So you can see we've been through several iterations of trying to fit ourselves into something that we're not. Whereas the new thing that we're doing now with the funk, this actually is just taking all the funk type songs that we've done and putting them together, which seems, it just feels more real. It just feels like, you know, a great direction to move in, where you are packaging yourself so that, you know, funk people will resonate with the whole album, but it's songs that we would have done anyway. Right,
but it kind of reminds me of, like, similarly doing the Tony Webb album.
Tony Webb,
you know, back in the 90s, and we were on mp3.com and we released that, and that was basically saying, okay, I'm going to do this record and it's just going to be done with the 4-string Fender jazz bass that I have, and I'm not going to use anything else but that 4-string and like drum machine, and that was it. And so it was a record built around that, and you know, and it was able to find, you know,
its footing,
and fans and stuff like that. You know, like I said, we got the bass player article, you know, and we're able to sell records. You know, able to buy the 6-string Pee-wee Cyrus
from the money we made,
and also that fretless Fender jazz bass, and then we did Empty Rooms shortly after that, and it was kind of the same type of thing. So again, it was. Both records were very easy to make, just simply because of the fact that they were like, that's where your heart is, you know? I mean, so it's sort of like, and all you're doing then is just sorting through stuff and saying, okay, all this stuff goes together.
Right,
all this stuff goes together. All this stuff goes together. I mean, because, you know, while we're doing even Sugar Pit, there's like a whole acoustic record that's been made. There's all, you know, there's a lot of stuff that's been done.
If you guys follow us on social media, you'll see we put up a song each week in the song challenge, and you can see that they're kind of all over the place as far as the genres. So those will probably eventually turn into songs, and that's what he's talking about. Instead of us putting them all on one album like we used to do, we are just saying, okay, these go closer together. Somebody who's interested in this one might like these others. And that's not to say that we might not go back to just putting everything.
Because sometimes too, it's like, even though stylistically, meaning musically, stylistically, the songs may not fit well together, but it's like the album before Sugar Fit, Higher Up, Deeper In, thematically, the songs link together. You know, even though stylistically they're kind of all over the board, but it still carries that same thing throughout. So it's a complete thought, and sometimes. In order to make that complete thought, you know, at least, you know, we find that you gotta go across genres. You know what I mean? That's kind of a part of making that thought too. So I mean, I can never promise you that you might not have a record that's you know, it may feel that way, but you know, there is a method to the madness.
So don't get us wrong. It's okay to make money making music. Because I think some people think that when we say sell out, that we're just saying, oh, because you're trying to make money. No, we are trying to make money with our music. But we don't want to give up who we are, you know, as artists in order to try to find, you know, in order to try to make that money. So that is what we mean by sell out. What do you think? Are you selling out or shortchanging your art?
Or do you think maybe we need to sell out more? I don't know. Tell me.
And if so, where? I just want to look at the opportunity. I ain't saying we're going to sign it.
Tell me what I need to be doing. So I mean, if I got it all wrong, just say you got it all wrong. Whatever. Fine. Yeah. We invite it all.
Yes. Speaking of wanting to sell our music, our funk album, Sugar Fit, if you didn't already know, is available for a limited time for $10.
Yeah.
If you go to the link in the description, that's just for you. There's a special code just for our listeners.
Yeah.
$10 is gonna go up, and when it goes up, it's not coming down.
Yeah.
So go to bandcamp.com/Prejippie and you will see, or either check the link below.
Yeah.
And if you dig the vibe,
be sure to subscribe and be sure to pick up Sugar Fit.
And be sure to pick up Sugar Fit.
That's right.
We're wishing you love, peace, and
chicken grease.